Todd Young Online presents Young Tales. Tales for the young and the young at heart. Today's story: Bulfinch's mythology, the Mabinogion, the lost tales of Wales. Before the legends of Camelot were sung in stone halls, before knights bore crosses upon their shields, there were other tales, older, wilder, whispered in the mountains and along the misted rivers of Wales. These were the Mabinogion, the tales of the Mab, the sons and daughters of story who lived in an age when the gods still walked among mortals, and when dreams and truth were not yet separate. For many centuries these stories slept, their words locked in ancient manuscripts, kept safe in great libraries where few cared to read them. There they lay in silence, while kingdoms rose and fall until scholars and poets, those who loved old songs, began to search again for the lost voices of their land. In the dusty corners of Oxford's Bodleian Library, they found the manuscripts, long rolls of vellum written in Welsh, their edges worn by the centuries. The scholars knew that the tales were precious, yet few could read them. For though the tongue of Wales still lived among its people, it was little studied by the learned, and those who could translate it had neither the means nor the will. So the stories waited, unseen, unheard, until new voices arose to waken them. It was the poets who first remembered them, men like Southey and Sir Walter Scott, who loved the old romantic legends of Britain. There is no greater treasure lost to Britain lore than these ancient tales of yours, said Southey. The Mabinogion, if ever they might be translated, the whole of England would know what songs sleep in your mountains. But the years passed, and none came forward. Southey jested that no Welshman should wear the leek nor boast of his bards until the work was done. And still the manuscripts waited. At last, long after Southey and Scott were gone, a lady appeared who would answer their call. Not a bard by birth, but by love. Her name was Lady Charlotte Guest, an Englishwoman who had married a Welsh nobleman and had fallen in love with his language, his country, and its stories. She learned the old Welsh tongue, word by word, until she could read the manuscripts herself. And then, with patience and passion, she began to translate each tale from parchment into living English. She gathered the myths of princes and enchantresses, of cauldrons that gave life, and stones that spoke, of Pwyll, the dreamer king, of Dyfed, of Branwen, the white-bosomed of Math and Gwydion, and the Lady of Flowers born from blossoms and spells. In 4 great volumes, she gave the world back the lost stories of Wales, the Mabinogion, written fair with their ancient strangeness intact. To the antiquarian, they were treasures of language and myth. To the poet, they were the roots of Arthur's dream. For from these Welsh tales came the first seeds of the legends we now know. The boy who drew the sword, the Lady of the Lake, the shining court of Britain's once and future king. Some said that Merlin himself was born in their words, that the gods of the Mabinogion had merely changed their names. That Aron, Lord of Anwen, became the first whisper of the Grail. And thus the circle of stories turned, from myth to legend, from legend to history, from history to dream. And so we begin anew. The tales you will hear in this new telling are older than Camelot and deeper than the Grail. Woven from the mist and the wind of Cymru, the land of song. They are tales of wonder and wisdom, of love and loss, and of that ancient magic which still lingers in the hills and rivers, waiting to be spoken once more. Thus begins the telling of the Mabinogion, the stories of the first dreamers of Britain. But here's where we end for today. Young Tales is produced and narrated by Todd Young from Todd Young Online. If you enjoyed this, Please like and subscribe and join us next time for another story. Thank you for your support.